Well, we run like a swim school group that does almost 3 million in revenue and 130 staff and more than 2,000 or about 2,000 kids enrolled. So there's a lot of shit that needs to get done. When I started, I had no idea about making sure that I got things done on time.
Yeah.
I think I tried to rely on having everything in my brain and having a mental memory of, okay, 3 people have asked me to do these 3 different things. Now I've got to remember to make sure they get done. And that was not good. That meant that like things got missed. It meant that like my ass got chewed out because I forgot to do something that was like super important or that ended up costing a lot of money or losing the potential to gain money, right? Started looking at and thinking about, well, okay, if I've got all of these things to do, how can I actually keep track of them, right? How can I make sure that I get all of these things done that people have asked me to do, that they're relying on me to make sure these things get done,
Can you give me like swim school examples of like what sort of stuff it was that you were having to manage and make sure you were getting done?
Yeah, so just simple things like a teacher would say, oh, hey, I'm really struggling with this child. Can you reach out to the parents to get some more information for me about how I can better connect with them? Or a client had sent us an email and they're like, oh, can you call me but at this time later today? And I would just go, yep, I'll remember to call them. And I definitely did not remember to call them. And so I think the first strategy that I sort of implemented was if I had something that had a specific time that I had to do it, then I put it in my calendar.
Yeah, at that time.
At that time for that day. And so if I had to deliver on a project by a certain time, or if I had to make sure that I called someone, or if I made sure I had to follow up with a staff member, that I put it in my calendar so that I got that reminder of, okay, sweet, I need to do that thing.
Yeah, okay. What would you do if like they didn't answer the phone?
Then I mean, I used to just go, oh, sweet, done. That's my job finished now, right? Because I tried. But now what I would do and what I would suggest others to do is either put the same color event in for a week later for the exact same day and time that you were supposed to do that thing, or later that afternoon or early the next morning, right?
Okay, cool.
And so that the tasks just transfer over to the next day if they didn't get done or if the action didn't happen from it, right? And then as I've grown in the business and as I've had more responsibility and the tasks have gotten bigger, and some tasks aren't just like something that can get done that day and they're more project-based things, I started looking at softwares like Asana and Monday.com to like hopefully help save me time, right? And when I started using them, I found personally that I spent way more time mucking around, organizing things to make things look pretty and like putting who owned what task and what the due date was and all those sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
And I very much agree with the sentiment that if you give something 7 days, it will take 7 days to complete it.
Parkinson's law, I think.
Yeah. So it's like saying, okay, hey, if you've got this like big thing that you need to do and you give it 3 months to be completed, it will take you 3 months to complete, rather than if you give it a month, then it only takes a month. I saw like an Elon Musk video where he was saying that all of his deadlines he sets at a 50% chance that they won't make it.
Yeah, right.
Because
just to try and
because that's the pressure of, he just wants people working to, if it's not 50% chance, then he's like, then the deadline's not tight enough.
Yeah, wow.
And so I don't necessarily take that crazy level of like thinking into the like what we do with the swim school, but I still really believe that setting a deadline can sometimes be prohibitive in getting the task done as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And so instead of using Asana or Monday.com, I literally just use my notes app in my phone, because I have a Mac at home, I have a MacBook Air that I carry around, I have my iPhone. And so when I write myself a note on my phone and then I jump on my laptop later to do work, it's there. And I haven't had to think about transferring it across or anything like that. And the time that it takes for me to write a note down is so fast, because it's literally just, I can talk to my phone and say, hey, write a quick note about this. About this thing, rather than having to go into an app and then putting in the app, who's the owner, what's the task, what's the deadline, all those sorts of things.
Why do you think people overcomplicate it and try and use this project management software that you thought you might need to use to start off with, and then you've moved away from it?
Well, we run like a swim school group that does almost 3 million in revenue and 130 staff and more than 2,000 or about 2,000 kids enrolled. So there's a lot of shit that needs to get done. And I think people think that when there is a lot of stuff to get done, that they think that it will help them. And they look at it being pretty and they look at it being something that you spend money on. And I think when you think about spending money on something, you think it's going to help you. and you think it's going to do a better job, but there you do just have the tools that you can use, like Google Calendar that's free, like your Notes app that's free,
Yeah.
that can do just as good as a job.